good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. Yeah, it is Monday and it's 8 o'clock. It is the last Monday of March already. Can you believe this? It is the 27th. I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick and then get to my guest. Friday night, I went into the city with my good friend, Ralph Bracco. They were doing Murdered by the Mob. I was not an understudy that night, but Ralph and I actually had an in-person audition for a TV series. I'm very excited about it. It was the first live in-person audition since COVID, and I wasn't nervous at all. I was just very, very, very excited to be there and to do it. And you do it, and then you just have to forget about it. So my new mantra is let go and let God. That's it. That's my new mantra. I just put it in his hands, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen, people. I cannot sweat over this. Saturday, I was so exhausted from Friday night because it was a cast member's birthday, and we ended up hanging out at a bar, and I didn't get home until like 1:30 in the morning. So Saturday, I was like out of it. I just needed to rest, and that's what I did. And then Sunday, yesterday, my friend Doreen came over for Bayside. We had a lovely dinner at New Way Seafood, which is one of my favorite places in Wantagh. And Wantagh. I don't want to sound like a real New Yorker. And then I came here for limo talk with the guys. So thanks to Rich and Graz and Bobby. I had a great time, and I love being here with them on a Sunday. And Bobby bought his Svenge. I hope I'm saying it right, pastry, and it was really good. We all got to taste it. All right, so listen, I'm going to get to my guest. As you can see, it's Jerry Landy is not with me. Unfortunately, Jerry took ill, and he couldn't make it out here. So we're going to reschedule him, and I don't know, either he'll come on next week or the week after. Not sure yet. But to my left, I have a very good friend of mine. She's a comedian. She's also a writer because she writes her own stuff. You know, it's not like, some people pay people, but, she writes her own original material. Emily Santos is here. Hello, Emily.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I am so glad you're here bailing me out because you and I have talked many times about you coming on the show.
Well, I'll be your Jerry.
Yeah, you can be my Jerry.
I used to be Joe, so it's close. I mean, it begins with a J.
Yeah, let's just jump into it.
I could be Jerry.
Yes, you mentioned you could have been Joe, and
I was.
Well, here's the truth. The truth is that you are a transgender comedian.
Yes.
A transgender person.
Yes.
And you happen to do comedy.
Yes.
And let's start out with the easy stuff first.
I like easy. Let's hear it.
Okay. Originally, you're from Glen Cove.
Yep.
Right? You went to Glen Cove High School?
Yes.
Yes? Why?
Yeah.
Did you go to another high school too?
No,
Or you just stopped going to school?
I pretty much just stopped, yeah. I did. I went back and got my GED.
Okay.
I left school. I worked. School was, I would skip school.
Some people are not meant for school.
No, but the funny thing is I would skip it.
Yeah.
But I'd read the books, and then we'd go in, and I'd take the test, and I'd get 100, and the teacher would be pissed. I'm like, why are you pissed? You're such a good teacher. I don't even need to be here.
Right.
You're that good. They didn't like that answer.
Wow.
But yeah, I was just being cooped up for that long was not.
Yeah.
I was like ADHD before ADHD was like a thing. Right? So like I just couldn't be there. It's like 8 hours a day. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I would cut out. We go like every period. Like one friend's like, I'm going to the pizzeria. I'm like, all right, I'll go. I'm going here. All right, I'll come with you. I got the record for the most cuts.
Really?
But my score, I had good grades and just never showed.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I took
totally get
GED
it.
and then I
Yeah.
actually signed up to go back to school recently.
You did?
I start April 3rd.
Really? Where are you going?
It's an online university.
Okay.
So
and
I work for
what are you studying?
a dealership. It's a bachelor's in business administration.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I always wanted to go, and I never did, because when I was young, I was stupid, as young people are.
Yeah.
And what do they say? Youth is wasted on the young. So true. And I wanted to have fun. Wanted to go out, hang out, and do stuff.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm banned for life.
Don't worry, it'll be edited.
Thank you, Bobby. So, I just did all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got into the car business and been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, over 20 years you're in the car industry.
Yeah, I'm 27 where I am now.
So listen, you mentioned how you were born male.
Yes.
And you tried to do all the traditional things.
Married twice. Yeah.
People
I grew up like my family wasn't overly religious. Like I went to religion after school, and
Yeah.
I had my first communion.
Right.
And we were there. We didn't go to church, but we were religious in
Yeah.
some kind of term.
Yeah.
So you get those values like instilled in you, and you try to do the right thing, and what's moral, and and all that stuff. And I tried. I did. I really
Right.
did. I went into both marriages with the best of intentions.
Yeah, 2 marriages. You wanted to try to have that normal
I did.
life that everyone has.
Well, because you're surrounded by it.
Well, that's the whole thing.
And when I was growing up, there was no internet really. It was in infancy. So internet started I remember AOL, but I was 19 or 20.
Right.
So I didn't, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I knew I liked girly things, I liked makeup and dresses. And when no one was around, I'd play with that stuff.
Okay.
And then one day I come home from school.
Right. But as a boy, were you attracted to men or women at that point?
I really wasn't attracted. I didn't.
Or just both?
Both, but women generally. I dated women mostly.
Right.
So, but at that point, I was still trying to figure out who I was,
Right.
not who I wanted.
Right.
Like I said, I came home from school one day, and Donahue was on. Do you remember Donahue?
Yeah, I used to watch him all the time.
Oh, I didn't. But I come home from school one day, and he's on. He's interviewing some woman, and for whatever reason, I just watched.
Right.
He was there, and her name was Caroline Cossi, or is Caroline Cossi. Her name is Tula. She's got a nickname, I guess. And she says that she's transgender. And as soon as I heard that word, I was like,
It was a light bulb moment.
Because there was no computers back then.
Right.
Nobody talked about it.
Right.
Nobody I knew was.
Right.
I come to find out.
Everything was really hidden.
Yeah.
And really not talked about or discussed. And if you did anything, you had to do it on the sly.
Well, yeah, I had another girl who I went to school with that was assigned male at birth. I found it after it was trans. We always had the one gay kid in class, and you knew he was gay.
Yes.
He was on fire,
yes.
basically.
I did too in high school.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you knew that.
Yeah.
But when trans wasn't a thing then.
Yeah.
It was a thing, but you didn't talk about it.
Right.
So when I saw that interview, I was like, wow, that's me. Finally, at that point, I could put a name to what I was feeling.
Right.
So I took the bus to the mall to Walden Books, ordered a book.
Uh-huh.
I think it was called My Life.
Yeah.
I went back next week when it came in. I read it, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. But again, I'm 12 now.
Yeah, you
Didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because, I was nervous, I was scared.
Yeah.
So you would hide and you'd dress up and you'd hang out with your friends and do it. A couple of friends I was close to. But never couldn't live that life because that wasn't a life you could live.
Yeah.
So I got married, had a kid,
Right.
got divorced,
Right.
got married again,
Right.
had another kid,
Yeah.
got divorced. It's a pattern here, I know.
Right.
And now, I'm just me. And
Hey, I did it twice, but I only had one kid.
I got 2, but I got 2 beautiful kids. So
Yeah.
I don't have the best self-opinion of myself. I make a good-looking kid.
Well, I've never seen you as a man, obviously, but I think you're a beautiful woman.
You could, if I could show you. I could. You want to see? I'll show you now.
No, you don't have to show us. And,
All right.
and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering at home. So I'm going to ask you, what surgeries have you had?
So if you couldn't hear it by now,
Well, I know that you had surgery on your vocal
Yeah, I have
cords.
surgery on
And you
vocal
had a
cords.
very, very male deep
Yes.
voice, and I know that it bothered you a lot.
A lot.
And instead of going for voice lessons and trying
Which
to
you did.
Which you did. But
did.
again, it's not for everyone, and it's very also hard to control. And also,
It is.
always keep it in your head. It's like me
It's like work.
saying
You have to-
talk instead of talk. You know what I'm saying? And get rid of that accent.
It only does so much. And no matter what I did, how hard I tried.
Right.
Sometimes you put on like that giddy, happy type voice.
Right.
But I would get called Sarah on the phone. I would say my name is Emily.
Right.
They'd be like, hi, who's this? I'm Emily. Okay, Sarah, how are you? I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I just told you my name is
Yeah.
Emily.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know any guys named Emily?
Yeah. No.
Like, no.
No.
Say, what makes you think you just met one?
Right.
So it was a mental thing. I would be outside with friends.
Well, now your voice is very sexy and raspy,
Well, I
which,
get
we
that,
thought
yeah.
after a year it might change, but we
Well,
think
it's
that
gotten
this is it.
stronger and better.
Oh, no, yeah. It was really, really, really weak and low when you first had it done.
Yeah, but I think this is probably it. But I would go out with friends and I could look the part. Now, you look at me.
Yes.
But I'd be like afraid to
Speak.
Like, I could talk to you silently, but if I had to yell, you could tell.
Right.
And that really kind of held me back.
Yeah.
So I had that surgery.
Yes,
that was
you did.
September 21.
Yeah.
When I started my journey 10 years ago, I had a facial feminization surgery where they like drill some bone down like under the eyebrow, because men have, it's called like brow bossing. There's like a deeper orbital ridge.
Right.
And a little nose work. But the rest of it was cute and fine. And I had a boob job at that point.
Yes, you got beautiful boobies.
Yeah, well, actually, funny, I first had implants, and I got silicone implants, and they were under the muscle. So those things didn't move for nothing.
Wow.
Like I could run without it was fine.
Right.
But then something went wrong. I was getting infections about 5 years ago.
It's scary.
It was, and I come to realize that the implants that I got were causing like this very specific, rare kind of cancer in women, like a closed cell, something.
Well, don't they say that get saline? 'cause
Well,
it's
yeah,
safer?
but these were newer, textured, round implants that had like a gummy bear type texture. So even if it ruptured, it wouldn't spill.
Okay.
But it turns out that the textured ones were causing these issues.
Okay.
So I woke up one day, and I'm like, oh, my neck is so sore. Must have slept wrong. I get into the bathroom. I look in the mirror, and literally my boob looked like a watermelon. It was coming up to like my
Oh
chin.
my gosh, like it was moving or something.
It was just big. It was a infection.
Wow.
So I went back and forth with the insurance company for a couple of months, go and get an aspiration, get the fluid out. What is it? And my doctor finally convinced them. So I ended up what's getting called like a D-flap, where they cut you open down here. You pretty much get a tummy tuck at the same time, so it's like a twofer.
Oh, that's cool.
It was. And they cut out the tissue from here and they
Right.
transplant it.
Right.
So I got a lot of jokes out of it. Good jokes. too.
Wow.
Awesome. So now it's my tissue. So there's no
Yeah.
implants, no foreign bodies.
Right. That's good.
So, and now they're all jiggly, which is awesome.
That's good.
But now without a bra, they're all over the place. So, and I run a lot, so I got to strap them down. So yeah, so it's been a journey.
So you've had top surgery and
Yeah.
vocal.
Yeah,
Do you plan on getting any other surgery?
I do. But the funny thing about that is, when I started 10 years ago,
This
11,
journey, yeah.
I was rip roaring. I'm gonna have that in a year. Bottom surgery to spell it out.
Right.
And the longer I go
Yeah.
without having it,
Right.
the less important it is. I'm still gonna have it, but it doesn't define me. Society doesn't see
I'm
it.
so glad you said that out loud, because I have a cousin who was born female and she transitioned to male. She went to get her breasts removed, and to look at her now, you would never know. Never know. Sorry, I apologize. I'm
wasn't gonna
sorry.
correct
I'm
you.
sorry, cuz to look at him now, you would never know.
She's a good egg. She didn't mean it.
No, I didn't. I did. I no. He knows that. It's just so hard, and I'm sure you had this issue with your family when you know someone most of their life, as Danielle and as a female, and then all of a sudden, she becomes Mason, and again, it's hard to put that new name in your head.
The longer you know someone, I will say this though, my siblings, my brother, and my sisters, they were good. My brother was a little difficult. It's more difficult with men.
Yeah.
They all wonder, like, why would you give up being a man? It's the most awesome thing for you.
Well, we're going to talk about the difference too. We're going to get into that also.
But my mom, though,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, in 11 years, she hasn't skipped a beat. Not once.
Right.
She's so good.
Yeah.
She calls me. She's like, "This is my daughter." I mean, she
Yeah,
is
that's
just.
great.
She's amazing. She's
Yeah.
amazing. She's the best.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy about that, really, because it's.
I love you, Mom. Just saying.
Nothing. My whole thing is what's between your legs should not define you.
No, but you also got to understand.
It's true. It shouldn't matter. We shouldn't be judged by what's between our legs in any aspect of life, including your job, which you've had both
Yes.
spectrums of how you've treated as a man and how you treated as a woman.
Yeah, big difference.
And it's a big difference.
But you got to understand that it's not about how you're judged. It's about how you see yourself.
Yes.
So for some
Yes.
people, there are some trans girls
Right.
who don't want hormones or don't have surgeries, and that's the way they live their life, and that's totally fine.
Right.
Whereas I'm halfway, and I'm comfortable in my body right now.
Right.
And eventually I'll get it done.
Yeah.
And some, they gotta have it done right away.
Yes.
And it's all about how you feel about yourself. Forget what other people think about you.
Right.
I mean, that does play into your psyche.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is it because in their mind they feel like they'll be more complete?
Yeah, that's a thought. But like you,
Everyone's
and
journey's
Bobby
different.
and any woman, everybody's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Well, on that note that everyone's different, we have to take my first break. But when we come back, we have so much more to talk about with Emily. So don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Well, hi there, Teresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Teresa. Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in tonight to my show. Everyone's loving my new set. Thank you, Bobby LaSara, because we got rid of the green screen thing and now we have this going on and everyone's loving it, and I appreciate everyone. You know, we're on every Monday night live here at Beautiful Paradise Studios in Massapequa, but if you ever want to come down on a Thursday night or Friday night, we're here. Thursday night is live band. You can get up and sing with the band. Friday night we do open mic. You could get up, you could do a monologue, you could do a comedy. We've had an author come and read from his book. It's just a really cool place to hang out on a Friday night. If you're not, doing anything, just come on down. And I did want to say at the beginning of the show, which I forgot because I was so excited that Emily's here. Today is World Theater Day, and I was in many plays over the years. Bobby's going to put up some pictures. That was West Side Story. There I am in the floral dress. Can't miss me. I was a shock girl. Nice. But yeah, that was West Side Story. And that's Once Upon a Mattress, which was based on Princess and the Pea. And I played Lady Rowena. And Bobby's just going to throw them up. That's another one. And yeah. And that was Bye Bye Birdie. I got to be in Bye Bye Birdie, which was... I love to dance, sing, and act, people. What can I tell you? I'm a triple threat. I'm like J-Lo without her behind or her money. There's Bat Boy, a Yankee Miracle. I play 3 parts. That's, that's me again. I got 3 different wigs on and 3 different characters that I do. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah. And that's me in Murdered by the Mob. And I've also done Grease, Fiddler on the Roof. Thank you, Bobby. There I am again. Pajama Game, so today again, World Theater Day. So if you haven't been to the theater lately, go. The last show I saw was Between Riverside and Crazy with Common, and it was amazing. So get to the city and see a Broadway show. Well, support local theater because I think it's so important. So I'm with Emily Santosis. She is a comedian. She's a writer. She's a friend of mine. She is funny, funny, funny. We actually, Bobby's going to put up that picture of Emily and I. We just did a show March 4th together. Kathy Arnold and I produced a show at Governor's Comedy Club, and you were on it, and you kicked butt, girl. She
Yeah,
kicked butt. You know, a lot of her comedy is based on
her
her
life,
life and what she's gone through, especially being trans. You know, you're very, your comedy is very raw, but it's funny. It's in your face, and you know, you don't play around with it, but you make it funny where people are accepting it, and you could feel it in the crowd. Like when you first start off, you could feel a little tension in the room.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. Like, oh crap.
Well, it's a little surprising at first.
It's a little surprising because I have to say, my accountant was there actually, and he was saying, you know, that woman was hysterical, but if she didn't say anything, I wouldn't have known. And he thought you were great. I just saw him. I just did my taxes the other day. And I says, I'm going to let her know that.
Thank you.
And, but yeah, obviously you grab your material from what you've been through. And what you've been through, including working in the car dealership industry for over 20 years, was transitioning and seeing firsthand the difference of how a woman gets treated on the job compared to a man. And not many people can say that, but how has that affected you? How did your coworkers react to this? And what's the biggest difference? I mean, because obviously they can't say, oh, you're a woman now and we're going to cut your pay, because you've been there for over 20 years. Yeah. So I would hope that they can't touch, your wage.
Yeah, that's it. A side note before we get into that, I was in theater too. I was in Inca.
Oh.
Yeah,
cool.
Just a generic Inca.
All right.
Way back in high school, I had to put the stuff all over my body. I had to clean myself off with Albolene.
There's nothing like live theater. Nothing.
Yeah, no, it was
fun.
fun.
The best.
I got killed three nights in a row. I got killed. So I'm on my 6th life now. So that was fun, and that's my stint in the theater.
Yeah.
Although this is like theater.
It is. We're live. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, your question. No, you can't do that. It's illegal. But aside from that, we talked before about how you feel about yourself.
Yes.
And what's important to you about what you do with your body. But you don't live in a vacuum. You live in the world, and a lot of people take issue with what I did, and a lot of people are cool with it. And you don't know how society's going to react.
Right.
And things are different. And just women get treated differently than men.
Right.
Some of it's good. I remember one guy cursed around me, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, miss." I'm like, "It's fine. It's fine. You're talking to me."
Yeah, right.
Hold the door. Things like that, which is cute and nice.
Right.
And fun. And they're a little more respectful around me sometimes. And sometimes it's assumed that you don't know what you're talking about, or that at one point you're judged on your work, and now you're judged on how you look.
Right.
Like, oh, you look great today. You're never like, oh, good job on that report. It's different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad,
Right.
but it's different.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of girlfriends now, and we talk. And I can tell you the one phrase I've heard a million times over is, and you could probably guess it, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Because you have. From the day you're born,
Right.
and you grow up with
Right.
it, with boys and all this stuff.
It's just normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not normal to me.
Right.
And I got a crash course in that stuff.
Right.
See, I adapted because I would have cursed a second ago.
Right.
I got a crash course in that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. And I fight.
Did you go to your boss and tell him what you planned on doing, so you didn't just walk in one day and?
It wasn't a surprise. It wasn't a surprise.
Uh-huh.
But I will say this. I left work one day, and I came back 2 weeks later as Emily.
Really?
Yeah, so culture shock. For
Yeah.
everybody, not just me.
Okay, so you didn't just announce it to everyone.
No, but people knew.
Okay.
People knew.
Right.
And there was a lead up to it.
Yeah.
Like at one point, like I showed you a picture.
Yes.
I had like the beard and everything, and I had a full French manicure.
Right.
I had some awesome nails. I still do, actually.
Yes, you do.
And the girls would be like, "Oh my God, I'm so jealous."
Yeah, yeah.
Because guys, I think, have stronger nails.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to keep that.
Right.
So I'm cool with that part. I'm fine with that. Thank
Well,
you.
women are very high maintenance, as you found out as well. You know, we pluck, we shave, we tweeze, we wax.
Oh.
I mean, there's a lot of maintenance from head to toe.
Don't. Because two things. One, it costs way more to be a woman. Way more. So,
Yes, because we accessorize.
Oh, yeah.
And carry pocketbooks.
but yeah, not even that. Like, freaking Louis Vuitton. But hair, makeup, nails, skin, you name it. It's, I got a $70 manicure.
Right.
I got a $30 pedicure.
Right.
I got a $400 dye job
Girl,
on my
I
hair.
gotta take you where I go because the mani and petty's like $35.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But the waxing thing.
Yes.
So I went to Vegas last week. And I was in Vegas last year, and it was hot, and it was warm.
Yeah, it's very hot.
And you could be by the pool. This year it rained, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring, okay, I got a bathing suit. It fits. I lost a decent amount of weight.
Right.
So I'm going to go get waxed. It was a painful memory.
It is.
So I went last week.
Yeah. There's
last
nothing like
Saturday.
putting hot wax on your body and ripping it off.
Yeah, but it depends on where.
Yes,
'Cause
it does.
the
But still
underarms-
sensitive.
It
Hello.
is. I'm used to the underarms now. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay.
So I go in, and I'm like, we're going to do it all.
Yeah.
And she did. And I didn't shave before or cut it
Right.
because I didn't know.
Right.
So she goes, you didn't shave? I go, no. She goes, oh, girls are going to hurt.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, I was so nervous because I was like stark naked. And I'm like doing this. And she's like, so she made me feel comfortable.
Right,
So
right.
Anna, shout out, you're awesome. So she rips the first thing off. And I swear to God, that strip looked like a fur glove.
It's like, and then seeing stars.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then she's like putting the pressure down, and that's not helping. So she does everything, and I didn't pull tight enough, so something went with her. That was not fun. And then she did in the back, and I'm like reliving this right now.
No, I don't want you to relive it. I don't want you to relive
I'm
it.
just letting you know, like, if you've never done it before,
Just let me ask you a question, because a lot of women, and this is a good question for women, a lot of women wear the wrong size bra. So did you yourself, they say you should go professionally get fitted
I
to
didn't.
know what size you wear.
I went
That's
to
what I was gonna
Blums
ask
'cause
you.
they're really good.
You know, someone told me to go there too.
Blums is good. But that was a while ago, and that was when I had the implants.
Right.
So I haven't been back, but because I lost all that weight,
Yes.
I can actually buy a bra from Victoria's Secret.
So yes,
and it fits.
you and I talked about that. I had put on like 20 pounds before COVID and then 20 during COVID. So I got the 40 off and then a little bit more. Now I'm like up 10. I'm always struggling with my weight, people. It's
not easy.
No, but you look fantastic. How much weight did you lose total?
From my highest, I'm down 70 pounds.
It's amazing.
And when I started really concentrating, that was March of last year.
Right.
And from then till now,
Right.
I'm down 55.
Yeah.
And from 3X to a medium.
That's
in
amazing.
clothes.
No, it's
I feel
amazing.
great.
And
actually.
it's fun to go shopping and it's
It is
easier.
because the plus size section, not very imaginative.
No.
The regular section is great. In fact, I went to Macy's a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I go to INC. And I love their clothes. Fashionable, not
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
expensive. But they're like either true to size or maybe a little on the small side.
Yeah.
So I grab an extra large and a large jumpsuit. I go in the dressing room. Extra large is too big. Large is too big. So now
Look at that.
I have dueling emotions. I'm mad because I have to get dressed,
To go
back
get a
out to get
medium.
another.
I know, I
but
hate when that
happy that I
happens.
have to go back out
Yeah, yeah.
and get a medium. So that's awesome.
That's cool.
Plus, I go to the gym a lot now,
Yes.
and I think I'm in better shape now than I was. I feel like I'm 20.
That's great.
I ran on Friday
Yeah.
just to see what I could do.
Yeah.
I literally ran a half marathon on treadmill.
That's great.
I ran 13 miles in an hour and 40 minutes.
Wow.
I could never do that, like
Yeah.
ever before in
Yeah.
my life. And there's this wall that you always think you're going to hit, and I let it stop me.
Right,
For the
right,
longest time, I'm like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. And then you broke it.
And then I broke it.
You broke through it.
And I break it every day.
That's
Because
great.
I know it's nothing.
Yeah.
And if you just try,
Yeah.
if you just push yourself, because I'll tell you right now, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. But food, that was my vice.
Yeah.
Like ice cream,
Me too.
cookies,
Me too.
sugar addict.
Yeah. Yep.
It was food. It made me feel good when I was eating it. And it took a the death of a friend of mine who died of a massive heart attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
At only 54, and I'm 47, so I'm not far behind.
Yeah.
To make me realize that
We have one
That's-
body.
yep.
We have one body, and it's so important how we take care of it.
So I saw him, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, and I just shut it down.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been through a drive-through in a year, and I used to eat that stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
no, I can't remember the last time I had fast food.
I cut out all the sugars.
Yeah.
Now I have a little bit, but I
Yeah.
learned
Every
from,
now and then.
from doing this.
Yeah.
Like before, if I had ice cream, I had to have the whole pint.
Right. That's
Now,
the whole thing.
I can have a little. I can have 2 cookies.
Right.
Not 6.
No, I still can't have 2 cookies.
I can have 2 cookies.
I still can't
Um,
have just 2 cookies.
And I can walk away.
Right.
I couldn't do that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And once I got all the sugar out of my system,
Right.
which was murder.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks,
How
I
do you
was not happy.
how do you do with shoes? I'm dying to know what size shoe you are and how you do with shoes.
Depends. Anywhere from a 10.5 to an 11.5.
All right.
Women's.
Yeah.
On an open, I can do 10. On a closed,
All
I
right.
do
No,
11.
that's not that bad.
No, it's not bad at all. So a lot of people go, oh, it must be easy to go shoe shopping. How many size 11 women are there? I'm like, yeah. When you go to the shoe store, they order 20 size 7s and 2 11s.
Yeah. No, it's not easy to find like a size 10 or 11.
Yeah. But DSW is pretty good. Burlington is usually pretty good.
You find out where to go.
Oh, yeah, you do. You totally do.
That's the thing.
And
you
online.
find out where to go.
Online.
Do you have, what challenges do you have now as a woman?
Clothing wise?
No, in general.
Challenges. I will say it's gotten easier as time has gone on.
Yeah.
You adapt. You get used to certain things.
Yeah.
You feel more comfortable in your body. I guess at first, it was fitting in. Where do I belong? You know, there are people out there. Like, when I use the restroom, I use the ladies' room.
Right.
I just go, I sit down, I pee. Sometimes I do worse than that, as people do in the bathroom. And that's a problem for some people. And I can't figure out why that is.
Right.
Because it's a private, you're in a stall.
Right.
You can't see what anybody
Right.
has.
Exactly.
Nobody's flashing it around.
Right.
I'm not writing my name in the snow.
Yeah.
So what business of it, what problem is it for you?
Yeah.
But some people just have an issue. What were we talking about? Oh, issues.
Just challenges in general.
I want to say still sometimes fitting in.
Yeah.
Still not feeling exactly like I belong.
Yeah.
I went to brunch
And I
yesterday.
think, we all feel like that at times.
Yeah,
but
that's why I
for
take
you,
solace in
it's,
that
a little bit more
other women,
challenging.
cisgender
But
women
but know that
feel out of
everyone's,
place.
a lot of women do. A lot of women do.
went to
I mean,
brunch.
I would walk into a room and be like, I hope I'm not the fattest person in the room. That would be the first thing I thought of.
went
And
to
it's horrible, isn't it?
It is. I went to brunch yesterday with 3 mothers, all the trans kids.
Yeah.
And me. And like at first, because they're all talking about their experience as mothers, which I don't have.
Right.
Like I transitioned, but I'm my kid's dad.
Right.
Like I'm their father. It sounds actually weird for me to say that, but it's true. I would never say I'm their mother.
Right.
Because I'm not going to take that away
What do
from
your
them.
kids call you now?
Well, they don't, because my son is autistic, and I can't really explain who I am to him.
Okay.
And my daughter and I don't really talk,
Okay.
so I don't really have to figure that out at this moment.
All right.
But I know I'm their father.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
And they have their mother.
Right.
But sitting in that conversation and listening to them talk about mothering their kids made me feel out of place a little bit. Not because of who I was, just
Right.
because I'm not a mom.
Right.
But then it got to how does it feel to be, and so they could give me the perspective on raising a trans kid,
Right.
and I can give them a perspective on actually being trans,
Right.
and what it's like to experience it from this angle.
And I'm sure that they appreciated everything.
It was a really good. We had a couple hours. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
It was
nice
good.
that because then they have an idea of what's expected.
Yeah.
Depending on how old their kids are.
Yeah, so young, 12,
Yeah,
18,
see?
20 and
Yeah.
change. It's a
And it's a rough age in between that, right
Yeah.
before that, those teenage years, and how much of you really want to put out there, because you really are. It's like walking around naked and just really being judged, and when you can keep it on the down low and
the
deal
funny-
with it in a way that you feel comfortable with.
Well, funny thing is, like if you're gay or lesbian or bi, you can hide that. That's not that hard to hide.
Correct.
You're in your own skin. When you're trans, and it's harder.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Like I couldn't go back to being a guy. The mannerisms and everything I have now.
Right.
Like that's just not. I don't want to anyway.
Right.
But what you said a second ago about being younger, there's a lot of talk now, and depending on where you get your news, you'll hear two totally different sides of the same coin. On one side, you'll hear that they're doing surgeries on kids under minors, which they don't.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife and I actually had a conversation about this on Sunday.
And you're very good friends with your ex-wife. You
My
see
second,
her. You see
my first,
your second wife. You
I
see her every
week.
Sunday, right?
Yeah, I do. When I go see my son.
That's cool.
And we could talk now.
Yeah.
Actually, at first it was hard, but now
Oh,
we get
sure.
along. She's great, actually.
Yeah.
And we talked about it briefly, and we're different. We have different ideologies, obviously. And she subscribes to that. She sees, they're doing these things to kids.
Right.
I'm like, they're not. And then she asked me a question she never asked me before. She goes, did you know when you were a kid? And that was difficult for me to say to her because I married her.
Yeah.
Knowing.
Right.
But I knew. And I told her, I was honest.
Yeah.
I said I knew. I also said I was afraid and I couldn't do anything about it. I tried to not.
Yeah.
And I did. I really did.
Yeah.
When I married her,
Yeah.
I didn't do it with the intention of leaving.
Sure.
I really wanted it to work because I love her. Like,
Yeah.
But getting back to the other thing. From a very young age, who you are. You're still trying to figure things out, obviously. But if a child comes to you and says, I'm not a boy, or I'm not a girl, 99.9%, they know.
Right.
I knew.
Yeah.
And people maybe don't deal with it, don't understand it,
Yeah.
don't believe that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just, why are you doing anything about it? Oh, because I'm a child.
Yeah.
And the parents that are out there allowing their children to express their identity,
Yes.
I applaud them, and I think they're great.
Yeah.
And we're wonderful people. Because the opposite side of that is depression and anxiety.
Sure.
Because you have to hide who you are.
Yes. And then there's high suicide rate too, which is
much higher in my
heartbreaking.
population
Heartbreaking.
than the average.
Yes.
Because of even during or while or after, because you don't know what to expect.
Right.
They made me sign a document when I started about what hormones would do to you.
Yes.
We distribute body fat, emotional changes.
Yeah.
But nowhere on it does it tell you how society is going to treat you. Because how could it?
Right.
And a lot of people find it hard to make that adjustment. Luckily for me, well, actually, I can't say that because I was hospitalized twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, we'll get into that when we get back.
Oh.
Actually, we're going to take my break.
There's some
When we
heavy
come
stuff,
back-
sorry.
When we come back, but you know what it is? Listen, I love you as a person, and I love your honesty and how organic you are and authentic you are. And don't go away, people. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Emily Santosis. We'll be right back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Teresa Canastraci Tea Time with Teresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Teresa on Facebook. Tea Time with Teresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I'm with Emily Santosis. She is a stand-up comedian. She's a friend of mine. She's a writer because she writes her amazing jokes and stand-up. And she touches so many lives in so many different ways. And I just want you to know that, girl. Before the break, she is transgender. She was born a male and now she's a female. And she's lived both lives, and she's very upfront and honest and about how, her life has changed from living as a guy to living as a girl in many ways. And, you're talking family, you're talking work, you're talking friends, who stays in your life, who leaves. And not only is it a physical change, but it's also a mental change. And before the break, she mentioned how she was hospitalized twice. So, you know, I want to know what led to that, and you know, how you overcame it.
Well, I'm going back a few years now. This is early in the transition, and before that, we were talking about how some people, the integration in the society as a different gender can be difficult, and it was. And it affected me more. I let it affect me more than I should have. And
Well, it's hard not to take things personally, period.
Well, that's true.
I mean, in general.
and some of it was direct and very hateful. But I could have been stronger. But anyway, it's not about that.
Yeah.
I ended up in a Mather for a week. Excellent accommodations. Being transgender, I got my own room.
Right.
Couldn't bike me with the girls or the guys. So I had a private. Sorry.
Oh my God. That's
So
funny.
so yeah, so there was that, and then it happened again about a year later, and that time was Southside. But that was 2016, and then I started comedy in 17,
That's what I was going to ask you, when you actually started doing stand-up.
and that helped because I no longer kept things bottled up.
It was almost like venting.
It's like
almost
therapy.
a
Therapy in reverse.
Yeah, yeah,
except
yeah.
people pay to see me.
Right.
So instead of paying the therapist.
I like that.
So I was able to take all of those negative things,
Right.
punch it up a little bit, tie it in a nice little bow,
Right.
write it down, and send it out on unsuspecting individuals in the audience. And it's been great. And don't get me wrong, I was on antidepressants and everything.
Yeah.
I
I've been there,
stopped
been there,
those.
done
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But it was a godsend because, like, I just let it all out. I keep
Right,
nothing in.
Right. No, I
Keep
know you
nothing.
don't. I know you don't.
So yeah, so the hospitalizations were a low point, but you know, it's part of my journey,
Yeah.
and I don't know where I'd be if it didn't happen,
Yeah.
because I got some good things out of it.
Well, that's what. Let's get into it. You said you started in 2016. How did you originally get into stand-up?
Oh, okay, so stand up. So I was 17. I was March, and I'm home.
Oh, 17. Sorry.
17. I'm March. I'm home. Depression,
Yes.
and I'm sitting in my bed going, you know, if I do not get out of this bed and do something, I'm gonna
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I called up, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're funny." All my friends, "Okay, you're funny." It's like, I'm funny to you.
Right. Exactly. Your
you
little
know-
inner circle.
Put your money where your mouth is, right?
Right.
So I called the brokerage,
Okay.
and I'm like, "What does it say to
Stand-up
get on stage?"
University.
No, I didn't do that.
You didn't do that.
I went right to open mic night.
Really?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yep. So it was I
Wow.
had a month to prepare, about 3 weeks to prepare. So it's Ziegler's open mic, and
Yes.
I love John. He's an awesome dude.
Yes.
So I said, "What do you need?" They go, "You got to bring 6 people to get 7 minutes."
Correct.
I tell everybody at work, like 30 people come. I'm like packing my desk. Like, why? I said, if I bomb, I'm not coming back. You guys are gonna ride me the rest of my life. I'm not coming. So I go. I write all my own material, all my own.
Yeah.
I get there, have a great night. The jokes, they just land. I mean, it's just like, nah,
Yeah.
this is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Audience going nuts. Didn't have to quit my job. Big plus. And that was it.
That was it.
From then on, I was done. I was in.
Wow.
Then I did a show at Frankie's East Side in the vestibule. Because you got to pay your dues, right? You got to pay your dues.
You know what? You do stand up all over as long as there's a microphone, and you know.
There was 5 people in the audience, 4 of them were
What are you
comics.
gonna
I mean, come
do?
on.
I mean, you know what I mean.
But I performed at Dangerfield's, Roman
Yeah.
Comedy Club.
Yeah, you've
all
been
the
all
clubs here.
over. You've been on every. Really, you've performed in Manhattan. You perform all
Yeah,
over
yeah.
Long Island, and now you know. And I want people to know that she has her own website. So if you go to Emily Santosis, it's EMILY, Emily.
Emily Comedian.
Well, I found it on this one.
I might have that domain.
Well, you do, because I was on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll shut up now.
It worked for me when I went on it.
Then I have 3. I guess I have EmilySantosis.com.
Okay.
I have EmilyComedian.com.
Okay.
And I bought Comedian.com.
Okay.
Just Comedian.
Okay, so I know on the EmilySantosis.com, I went on that one, and you can see all her upcoming shows in the month of April. So if you want to check her out in person, please go on the website. She's also on Facebook. You're also on Insta.
Oh yeah.
As is EFS 2013.
Yeah, and I have a comedy one. I think it's Emily Comedian. I
Okay.
gotta be honest. I don't know if it's the age thing. I'm really good with Facebook.
I know, me
Really good with
too.
Facebook. I'm kind of okay with Instagram.
Me too.
Snapchat, I'm like a toddler.
I'm not even on it.
And I signed up for
I'm like
TikTok,
I am, but I don't use it.
but I refuse to use it.
I know.
Because I
It's
don't TikTok.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't TikTok either.
I know it's a thing to do. That's hot with the kids.
I know, but we're not kids.
I know. Well, actually, technically, I'm 10.
Are you?
Yeah. So, I mean, technically, I could do it.
That's great.
Say?
Oh my God, that's great. No, I just listen, you know, you have a couple of mantras that you go by, and one is respect me and I'll respect you.
Yeah, that's on my page.
Yes, which I really like, and obviously that's like just a given. I mean, really? I mean, you know?
If you don't mind, so I think it says, liberal transgender girl with conservative friends.
Yeah, I didn't write out the whole thing.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make was I am friends with a lot of comedians, and a lot of them are conservative. And there was something that happened recently
Okay.
with a conservative comedian who put a post up on Facebook. And it was one of these, like, images where it was like a top and a bottom, and the top is like some guy, like, flashing a young girl and a mother. And then it said, haha. And then next to it is like a wanted poster of the guy. And then right underneath it is the same guy, big guy, with a trans flag. Says, I'm trans. Same mother and daughter, but now the mother is on the wanted poster because she was anti-trans because of that.
Okay.
And I took offense to that. And it takes a lot to offend me. And I'm the last person to tell somebody what they can and can't say.
Right.
But I just replied. I said,
Yeah.
not for anything. It's not funny. It's offensive.
Right.
It perpetuates stereotypes about people like me. And a lot of people have never met someone like me, and they make the assumption that is correct.
Correct.
And we're groomers or pedophiles.
Yeah.
I have kids. You touch my kid, I'm going to jail because I'm going to kill you.
Sure.
So I messaged that comedian.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
took it down.
Well,
To
good.
their
I mean,
credit.
look, some people have to be educated. And you know, and if you don't say something, they won't know.
I have to. And so somebody said to me, why do you stay friends with these people? So I can call them out when they say stuff like that.
Right.
And
Well,
again,
educate them when
yeah.
need be.
because if you want to, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
So First Amendment is a big thing for me.
Yes, it is.
And I'll never say you can't say anything. Some things may be inappropriate.
Yes.
I'll never say you can't do it.
Right.
But at the same time, if you want to make a joke about trans people, go for it. Put some effort into it, though. Make it funny.
Yeah.
Stop going for the low-hanging fruit.
Right.
Because I'll make a joke about people, but put some effort into it.
Right.
When you make a post like that,
You really know
just
what you're
perpetuating
saying.
stereotypes that are completely untrue.
Right.
And get people like me hurt
Yes. Totally.
or killed.
Totally. I totally get it.
That's what I take issue with.
Yeah. I get
Sorry,
it.
I'm getting all serious.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, we're gonna take my last commercial
Are we?
break in about 30 seconds.
Goddamn.
And but we have to take a last break.
Okay.
And then we come back. We're gonna get into it more. So stay right there. Don't go away. More with Emily when we come back right after this.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Teresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Teresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, Who's your favorite Jimmy?
Teresa Farrell.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrell.
All right, Chuck. I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Doc Gooden, my friends. I'm hoping to have Doc back on my show. I want to give some shout outs to Linda DeVitis. I'm actually going to be on her show tomorrow night. She's interviewing me tomorrow night.
Nice.
So tune in tomorrow, 8:30, right here on Strong Island Television. And then Wednesday, I'm here all week, people. Wednesday, I'll be back for Laughter Saves Lives. So tune into that as well. But thank you for watching. I'm with my friend, comedian, writer, Emily Santosis. Everyone has a story, and she has an incredible story that she tells. And, she's living her authentic life now the past, 10 years, you said? Almost 11?
Almost 11.
Almost 11 years. And, this was a very, I'm sure, hard decision and yet brave decision that you made to really live your authentic life.
Yeah, a lot of people would say brave, and at the beginning, I didn't agree with that because I'm
But you have
myself.
to be. No, but you have to be.
No. I came around to think in this society that we live in this world,
Yes.
it is. Now,
Yes.
I say that, and I don't know if you remember, a few years ago they put Caitlyn Jenner on Woman of the Year or bravest person.
Yeah.
And it's all big uproar. Why don't you pick a veteran?
Right.
And I think veterans deserve every honor.
Yes.
Because they fought for our country. But it's not the same thing. I mean, it's not. I mean, people just want to create a culture war.
It's different. It's just different.
But in the world that we live in, it kind of is, yes.
But I'm glad that you did get into comedy when you did, and you found that outlet that you needed.
Absolutely.
To A, express yourself, B, get free therapy, and you get paid for it instead of the other way around.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean? Well, that's the other thing. How do you find? Obviously, you didn't do comedy as a male. So how do you find comedy as doing comedy in general as a female? Because I know I've been doing this since the early 80s, early 90s.
There's a lot less of us than there are guys.
Yes.
And I am in a very, 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 very small.
Yes.
I think I know 2 other trans comics.
Right.
One's in the city.
Well, I had Julia on my show.
Scotty.
Yes, Julia Scotty was on my show.
I performed with her once.
Isn't she great?
She is amazing.
She's amazing.
And she talks about many other topics.
Yes.
She touches on the trans thing
Yes.
at the beginning.
Yes.
And then,
And
goes
then
off
lets
on
it
other
go.
Stuff. I hawk on that thing all night. That's my thing.
That's your thing.
But she's
And
awesome.
stay true to
I love
yourself.
her. Yeah.
But she did my show virtually, obviously. She's not in New York, but she's killing it. They're doing a documentary on her.
Yeah, she's great. She's amazing. And amazing funny.
Where did you work with her?
Well, so there was a thing for Long Island Transgender Resource Center, and it was at, I want to say St. Luke's. Maybe it's, I think it's in Massapequa.
Oh, really?
It's up one of these
How
roads.
long ago was that? A while, no?
2018, 19,
Yeah, I was
maybe.
going to say it was a while
It's pre-COVID.
ago. Yeah.
I was new at it, and
Yeah.
I go up, and I'm nervous, and she goes up, and she's just like natural.
I
Oh
know.
my
She's
God.
great.
She could do it in her sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
She's been doing it a long time.
She has.
And she
has.
performed
She started
prior to transition
yes,
as well.
She started as a male.
I have only known it from this angle.
Right.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
If you, like I tell my friends or people.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I met you when you first started doing stand-up.
Okay.
And you've come a long way. I mean, a long way from being relaxed on stage. Because in the beginning, everyone is a little tense and everyone's a little nervous. And, no pun intended, but being comfortable in their own skin on stage.
I eat before I go on stage now. I could never
You
do
see,
that
I
before.
know, but I still don't.
I couldn't.
I still don't. I don't eat or drink before I hit the stage.
Funny thing is I had the voice surgery in September of 21.
Yes.
And I was performing up until July.
Right.
I wanted some time off in case COVID, whatever.
Yeah.
And all the way, every time, nervous. Like, go to the bathroom like 10 times. Then I had surgery, so I'm out for a year and a half.
Right.
I come back thinking I'm going to be even more nervous.
Right.
Nerves went away. I just get up and I just go, and now I eat. It's crazy. I get on a big show, I might get butterflies.
Right.
But I don't get that.
It's not like it was in the beginning.
Sense of doom. I don't. It's like, oh my God, it's gonna die. I don't have that now.
my God.
Now I just get the butterflies. Like, oh, I hope this goes well.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But it changed. It was awesome.
Because the more you do it, the more you get comfortable.
That's
what
true.
it is.
That
And
is true.
you do a lot of shows. And again, go to emilysantosis.com or go to her Facebook page. She's constantly posting when she is, doing shows. And again, you can see all her upcoming shows in April. I don't know, girl. We have. It's hard to read that thing because there's a.
I think I
thing
want
in
to say
there.
55 seconds.
Yeah, we have like a minute left, real quick. So.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. No, just before we leave, because we got to go real quick. Is there anything that you're looking to do in the future that you haven't done yet, whether it's comedy or doing other things or writing maybe a memoir or,
I don't know about a memoir. I do remember I won John Butera's contest
Yes, you
back
did.
before COVID.
Yes.
And I was supposed to film a movie.
Okay.
Genderbender 2, believe it or not.
Yes.
Just go figure.
Yeah, I heard that might be happening.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to be in that.
All right,
So I'm
cool.
looking forward to that if it happens.
All right.
Other than that, starting school
Yeah, that's
in April.
exciting.
I am very excited. I'm also very nervous because it's been a long time since I studied.
It's been a long time since I was in school too. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I wanna thank you so much for coming
Thank you for
in
having me.
tonight. And my door's always open. So whenever you have something to plug or talk about, you come back.
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for watching Tea Time, supporting me. Listen, everyone. Tell everyone you love them, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, everybody.